Hello, friends! Today I will tell you about the cartoon trolls. If you like our videos, trolls love to hug, and they also love to sing and dance. And all because they are the happiest creatures in the universe. Trolls introduced a carefree life, but only until the first Bergen discovered them. Bergens are the exact opposite of trolls. They are scary, sullen, and absolutely do not know how to be happy. Bergens feel happiness only from troll laps. They even had a tradition. Once a year they gathered around the troll tree to eat them and feel happier. They surrounded this tree with iron rods. And when the next holiday came, Troll Day, the boar prince was delighted because today he got to try his first troll. All the Bergens of the kingdom gathered around the tree, which was guarded by the cook. She was going to cook some dishes from these happy creatures, but first the gristle had to try them. She led him to a tree and fed him the troll princess Rose. But the gristle didn't like her. The rose tasted like wood. When he spat it out, he saw that it was a wooden doll, and the real trolls had fled. The Bergens, led by the cook, began to dig the earth around the tree to find the tunnel through which the trolls had escaped. And they almost got them, but the Pink King led his people to a safe distance. And when some of the florets lagged behind, he returned and, risking his life, saved them. After this escape, the cook was banished from Bergen town forever. That day she swore to herself that she would find the trolls. Then she would return and make the Bergens regret their decision. The party did not end as the Gristleman had expected. And in the evening, when his father told him that the prince would not see happiness now, Tikanyo would look at him. She lived at court and did cleaning and other dirty work. Tikanyo was in love with the gristle. 20 years have passed since then. The trolls lived as carefree as before. They danced, sang, and hugged on schedule. Princess Rose grew up and was preparing to rule her people. But for now she was organizing a party to mark 20 years without the Bergens. Everyone was excited about the upcoming celebration. Everyone except Svetten. This discolored troll was sure that the Bergens would return any minute, and then everyone would be screwed. Everyone except him. After all, Svetten has created a bunker where he plans to survive the Bergen invasion. However, no one listens to Svetten's warnings. Rosishka and her friends throw such a grand party that the cook notices it. She lives in exile and dreams of finding the trolls. And now her time has come. She follows the sound of music and bright flashes. Arriving at the troll village, the cook starts grabbing everyone indiscriminately and carries off Rose's friends. She was especially offended for Brooke. This positive troll in all respects was especially dear to the princess. The Pink King tried to stop the cook, but she almost grabbed him. Rose had to hide her father. Having stuffed a bag full of trolls, the cook left for Bergen town. The survivors decide that they must flee from here, because other Bergens might come here when they find out where they are hiding. But Rose can't just run away. She wants to save her friends. The Pink King is against it, but his daughter won't listen to him. The first thing she does is go to Svetten, who is admiring her postcards in his bunker. Svetten secretly has warm feelings for Rosishka, but she doesn't know it. The princess asks him for help, but Branch refuses. He has enough food in his bunker to live for 10 years, and he does not have to worry about the future. Rose leaves and brings the rest of the trolls to him. They start hugging and being nice. Svetten can't stand the influx of cuteness and runs away after the princess. Meanwhile, Rosishka goes to her goal, despite all the obstacles she encounters along the way. However, she fails to pass through the web. The threads entangle her and she falls unconscious. At that moment, spiders crawl towards her. It seems there is no escape, but then Branch appears and frees the princess. While they were walking to Bergen town, Rose tried her best to cheer Branch up, but he would not agree to be a troll. He was gloomy and negative. According to his plan, they must find the tunnel through which the trolls escaped 20 years ago and get to the tree in the center of the city through it. Only on the spot it turns out that there are many tunnels, and most of them are dangerous. The Cloud of Infinity can show the right direction. It drives Branch crazy with its jokes, and he chases after it. Cloud chooses the path that leads to the troll tree, and they quietly end up in Bergen town. What they see here horrifies Branch and Rose. The Bergens are truly unhappy. They suffer daily from the lack of joy and all the pleasant things in life. Meanwhile, Grisel has become king. However, this did not make him happier. Quiet continued to clean the throne room and secretly sighed for the ruler of Bergen town. And then, when Grisel's hope for happiness was almost exhausted, the cook appeared with the captured trolls. She suggested that the trolls spend the day and eat the spoils during the feast. Grisel thought it was a great idea and announced the upcoming feast to his people. He returned the cook to her previous position, but now that was not enough for her. She understood that whoever has the trolls controls the kingdom, which means she has control over all of Bergens. During the troll day, she plans to become queen and remove Grisel from the throne. Rose and Branch sneak into the palace and find friends. They sit in a cage and await their fate. At this point, Grisel realizes that there are too few trolls for all the inhabitants of Bergen town to be happy. However, the cook reassures him, because now she knows where these people live. She offers the king to gobble up the brook. He refuses several times, but then finally stuffs it into his mouth in front of Rosiska and Svetten and leaves. The cook gives the remaining trolls to Tikona and demands that she guard them. The princess and her monochrome friend follow. Here they see how Tikona suffers from her unrequited love for the king. When she falls asleep, Rose and Svetten free theirs and try to escape, but Tikona notices them. Rose offers her a deal. She will help Tikona make the king fall in love with her, and in return she will free the trolls and find the brook. Tikona agrees, and Rose and her friends begin to sing for her. Only Svetten refuses to sing along, which upsets Tikona. Rosiska finds out that Svetten once loved to sing and was bright, but his singing killed his grandmother. She saved him from Bergen when Svetten was singing songs. Since then, he has lost his colors and become joyless. The trolls help Tikona become attractive and she goes to the king. At this time, Kryas tries on bibs for the troll day. They meet and go on a date. In the cafe, Kryas shows his friend that he hid the brook in a medallion and carries it with him. Then he invites Tikona to the next day's troll. Quiet and the king are happy. They are having a good time, but the cook appears and spoils everything. Quiet runs away, leaving Grisel only a roller shoe. She returns home happy, and Rose and her friends go to save the brook. They sneak into Cartilage's room, and while he is losing extra pounds for the holiday, they steal the medallion with the brook. When they open the medallion, it turns out to be empty. At this point, the cook catches them and locks them in a cage. She has a plan on how to find the rest of the trolls, who are now safely hidden in the bunker, and the stream will help her with this. When he was in the king's mouth, he begged not to be eaten. For this, the brook was ready to give up his people. They would all be eaten, and he would live with a sense of guilt. Brook himself told about it. Meanwhile, the cook found and caught all the trolls. When she brought them to the palace and Rose saw it, she completely despaired. She even dimmed, and after her, the other trolls dimmed. Svetten realized that something had to be done, otherwise the trolls would be beyond saving. He began to sing, and with his singing, he lit up the colors in the souls of Rosiska and the others. And she helped Svetten to shine with colors again. Their song was heard by Tikona. She decided to free the trolls. The king won't love a simple servant anyway, but at least she will save her new friends. In the midst of the celebration, it turns out that the trolls have escaped. The cook wants to punish Quiet, but then Rose and the others appear and show the king that she is his beloved on roller skates. Grisel realizes that he was happy with her even without eating trolls, which means that happiness exists in everyone's soul. And Rose proves to the Bergens with her song that they can be happy on their own. They throw a grand celebration, painting Bergen town with bright colors. Even the troll tree blossoms, and they return to their old home. From now on, the Bergens and the trolls live in peace. And the cook is banished again, but this time along with Brooke, who was sitting in her bag. When they were far from the castle, they were eaten by a creature that was pretending to be a hill.